Let's learn how to pipe beautiful buttercream flowers and create this gorgeous pink floral cake. Let's get started. Let's start with a simple small flower. I'm using a Wilton 104 nozzle here, and with some purple buttercream, I'm going to pipe small curved petals to the count of 4 or 5 to form a simple flower. The middle of the flower, I'm going to pipe 3 dots using a piping bag with some green buttercream and a hole cut at the end. Now we are going to pipe some roses. I'm using a Wilton 125 nozzle here. As you can see, I started off with a cone and then I wrapped up the cone to form a small bud. You can see the light little hole in the middle. That's what we need to look out for when you're piping a rose. Now we are going to pipe curved arched petals all around this bud one by one. As you can see, if you pipe really close together the petals, it will really form a nice clustered rose flower. So let's keep piping the curved upright arched petals all around the rose to your desired size and shape. I'm going to aim for a medium rose here. So that is a good size, I feel like. So I'm going to stop piping just after this petal. Now I'm going to pipe some leaves using Wilton 352 nozzle. So I'm just going to pipe small leaves all around the rose. That's looking nice. So I'm going to transfer this flower onto a tray or a plate, and I'm going to freeze this after I pipe all the flowers. Now let's pipe a different color rose. I'm using light pink buttercream here, again with a Wilton 125 piping nozzle, and I am going to pipe curved upright arched petals all around the bud of the rose. Rose is a advanced flower, I would say, and when you're starting out piping roses, a good thing to look out for is if you get a nice bud, if you can pipe one with a small hole in the middle of the rose and the petals are nicely and closely formed together, so it looks gives a realistic look to your rose. So keep piping your roses. Let's learn a new flower now. We are going to pipe a guide circle in the middle using a Wilton 104 piping nozzle. And I have here some yellow buttercream with a little white buttercream as well in the piping bag. And I'm going to pipe curved petals all around the guide circle. And we can add an additional layer if need be. It will form a little bit of dimension to our flower. So I am going to add one more layer. You can add more layers if need be, and when you're done you can finish off by piping little dots in the middle of the flower. So this is a beautiful yellow flower here which we can use as filler flowers for our floral cake design. Now I'm going to show you how to pipe some leaves. Of course, I'm going to pipe the leaves directly onto the cake as well, but I'm using a Wilton 104 nozzle here and piping elongated petals and then bringing it back to where it started to give a nice leaf shape, and we can make it long or short according to the way we like it. I'm going to pipe one more rose, and this time I'm going to pipe a really fully bloomed open rose. So the techniques are the same as what we have learned in the other two roses. The only change here is that this rose is going to be a little bit bigger than the other roses. So we are going to add more layers to it so we get a nice open rose. I'm using the same Wilton 125 nozzle in here with some purple buttercream, and everything is the same, the techniques. I'm covering the cake with some pink buttercream as well as little strands of purple buttercream to give a marbled effect. I'm using our signature buttercream recipe here, which you can learn in our online school. You can sign up in our website for free sample tutorials, www.buttercreampetals.com. You can sign up for free sample tutorials from the online school. So once you have covered the cake, I'm going to clean up the board a little. I use a palette knife for this purpose. It's really nice and clean if you use a palette knife, and you can get the buttercream that's stuck to the board as well. So let's give some light finishing touches to our cake now, and I use a palette knife always to smooth the top of the cake as well. To arrange the flowers onto the cake, we are using some buttercream on top of the cake just so that the flowers can nicely sit in an angle. So I'm just placing the flowers on top of these blobs of buttercream that we have piped. One thing to keep in mind is that I have actually frozen the flowers that we are arranging on top of the cake for about 10 minutes. So the whole tray where we piped the flowers, it went into the freezer for 10 minutes, and I am actually assembling frozen flowers onto the cake. You can even leave it in the fridge as well. It really helps if the flowers are a little cold when you transfer them onto the cake. So now we are finishing off with some more flowers that we can directly pipe onto the cake. We don't have to directly pipe onto the cake if you don't feel ready, but I'm just showing you the technique just in case if you would like to try it out. But absolutely, you can pipe all the flowers, freeze it, and transfer the whole flowers onto the cake as well. It's not a problem. And the leaves also, I prefer to pipe it directly onto the cake, but you can freeze and transfer as well if you don't feel comfortable doing it. But it always gets better with practice, so keep practicing. We are now going to add a border to our cake. I'm using a petal piping nozzle, which is Wilton 104 nozzle again, and piping small petals all around the cake as a border. There is our beautiful floral cake. Hope you like this technique. Hope you will try it out. See you later. Bye.